Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. I did get a few tips and tricks and a few questions pertaining to my chicken coop, mainly the rainwater collection system. I greatly appreciate the tips and tricks on what I should do. The biggest part of the questions were about how the rainwater collection system actually works, and a couple of things that what do I do if this happens. Yes, sorry, I would have made a video sooner, but I taught a motorcycle class this last weekend, and pretty much every time I teach a motorcycle class, my voice is just shot by the end of the weekend. So whenever your questions came in and your comments asking about how this worked and some concerns, I wasn't even really able to talk. And it's much easier for me to explain things in video. It's a lot tougher to explain through a paragraph or even through a few words on the internet of how this would work. So if you did not see my previous video showing the chicken mansion, you should go watch that now. It'll kind of show you what I'm talking about as far as the rainwater collection system. As I explained before, when it rains, the rain will collect on the roof and run down the roof into the gutters. And then it will go into these downspouts and then go underneath and fill up this watering run underneath. And then, as I stated before, the water will then go up and fill the rainwater barrels that I have. But as it fills up, the water equalizes between this downspout and the other downspout and the two barrels inside. So the barrels inside will be filled to that level there, as well as this pipe here and the pipe on the other side. Another reason I decided to do the watering system this way is so I could put the overflow or the water level control on the outside. That way I would have less things to mess with as far as the barrels, less connections on the inside to deal with the barrels. In my experience, the fewer connections you have definitely on the inside of a structure that's made out of wood dealing with water, the better. And this is the first time I've ever done PVC or hard PVC with anything, and it's pretty easy to work with, but I just wanted, with the connections that I had for the barrels, I wanted the least amount of chance to get water into the chicken coop. I always get great comments from my motorcycle students about how wonderful of an artist I am. So here is my probably kindergarten level drawing of how this chicken coop watering system actually works. It's real, yeah, that's probably just scale for sure. Yeah, 100% accurate. All right, so this is how it would work. The rain falls down up here, yeah, and then it collects into the gutters as shown, and then it flows down. And as it flows down these down pipes, it fills in the bottom system, which is down here. I didn't draw it. And then as this all starts to fill up evenly, it gets to the overflow, which is right there. And the overflow, it will dump down into the outside tank where I will be able to pull from to water my garden, which I haven't installed yet. I'll probably do at a later date. I don't even have the watering tanks yet. And then I do have the on-off valve there. That's what an on-off valve looks like on a schematic, kind of. And then I have one right there which will allow me to drain. I'll close this one and I'll open the one that's right there, and that will empty all these lines. And if it rains or does freezing rain, it'll allow all of this outside to drain still, but will keep the water in the tanks so the chickens can drink from that run still. So I'm going to try and show you a little demonstration of what I mean by water equalizing within the barrels. Set you down. All right, so let's say this is your downspout right here, and this is what's going up into the barrels. This is your overflow. This is where you are going to allow water to come out. I put this lower so you can see that water will come out of this. So this would essentially go up into the barrels. So you can see here, fill it up, fill it up. It's raining a ton, and now all of a sudden there's water pouring out over here. So what you don't see, because this line is blue, is the water is up to here, the very edge, and then it is equal over here. That's essentially how it works. Now I do have, like I said, some ball valves and some other things kind of going on here, but this is a very simplified version of how this rainwater collection system works. So one of the big concerns was, what do I do when it doesn't rain and I run out of water? Well, it's actually already happened. I got this finished whenever we hit our dry season for the summer. So, as you saw on this downspout over here, the overflow that will eventually fill outside tanks that I can use to water my garden, I will have a T, so I am able to still fill it with the hose, the garden hose, which I've already done. I'll be able to fill it up. Whenever it rains, it will fill the barrels up to about 50 gallons, which is roughly 430 or 40 pounds, something like that, plus what is in the pipes. So there will probably be maybe around 60 gallons of water, and that should last my chickens probably several weeks to a month. We very rarely around here go without rain for a week or two at a time, but since I got this finished, it hasn't really rained that much. It rained a couple times, but it didn't fill the watering system completely full. It only put maybe 15 gallons total into the system, so I have had to fill it up since. Another question I get is, what do I do in the winter whenever it gets cold enough to freeze these pipes? So I did put two ball valves in this system. One is out here on the outside, so I will be able to drain the outside, and then one is on the inside, and it'll shut the flow off to the inside, but the inside will still retain water. There is a run on the inside where they'll still be able to get water on the inside. The inside of the chicken coop should stay warmer than the outside ambient temperature, and if it does get colder in the coop to where things might start to freeze up, I have a little heater that I'm going to put in there and put on a thermostat to where it at least keeps it warm enough to where the barrels and the lines on the inside don't freeze. So this out here will be completely empty whenever it gets that cold. And then I can switch the ball valves on and off as needed to get more rain during the winter times, because we don't go often, maybe a week or two at a time, where it actually would get cold enough to really freeze things up. And especially with this 2-inch pipe, I think I'll probably be all right. And please, if you have any other tips or tricks that I need to do, or anything you'd like me to try, or any more questions about my chicken coop or how the watering system works, please ask me. I will definitely do my best to let you know. And if I don't understand or don't know something, I will look it up and try to figure it out, and then I'll let you know. Thanks for watching.